So we're somewhere slightly different. We're next to the car that, to be honest, is a bit of a state. It needs a good wash. Please ignore that. But we're going on a field trip. We're going on a field trip today. Something never done before on the channel. But before that, let me show you something, because there's a bit of a story to be told here. So we're emptying the greenhouse, or kind of emptying it. So we've got all the sweet peas there coming up here, going in the polytunnel. What else have we got? We've got the beetroot. And you might remember, some of you, if you've seen it on Instagram, the ill-fated beetroot that I knocked off the shelf in the greenhouse, all over the floor, made a right mess, repotted it, potted it on, and look at it. It looks blooming marvellous. But the one thing to do, we are emptying the greenhouse, and for good reason. We can fill it up again with more stuff, and I've got a bit of a plan. And we're going on a tour. So those of you who've been around for a while, you've heard me talking about it for loads of times, right? Private allotment site. We are owned by the garden centre that's over there. Garden centre used to be called Rick and Glen, and it's now called Caulders of Lithgow. And no disrespect to the old owners, it was a bit unloved. It was a bit neglected. It was almost like, the way I've described it, I think, on the potty mouth, is it's like there was business people who owned a garden centre. It wasn't really invested in. It looked a bit dated. It was a bit poor. It was a bit rubbish. But late last year, the garden centre was bought over. So Colin, who owns the whole sort of thing, Caulders Garden Centres, bought out this garden centre. And I dread to think how much money has been spent on that garden centre and improving it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe the difference. And I could have gone along. I could have gone and done a little bit of sort of sneaky filming. We could have gone in. We could have had a little bit of a much about. But I sent a little bit of a sort of speculative email to Colin. I said, do you mind if I come in and we'll do a bit of a film? Because I talk about it quite a lot. I talk about the garden centre, the allotments, where we are, what we do, that sort of thing. And I thought, why not just let people see it? Why not just let people see what's here? So we've got a bit of a deal. Colin said, yep, absolutely. Please do come along, film what you want, say what you want, look at what you want, do what you want, free reign. Absolutely bloomin' marvellous. So I guess I'm going to go and pop these in the polytunnel. We're going to pick the camera up. We're going to head just down the road, just a tiny little bit down the other side of the allotments there. We're going to take a left and we're going to have a look around the new garden centre. Right, so there's only one thing for it. Let's head inside and see what we've got inside the new updated garden centre. I really shouldn't be allowed in places like this, because you know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to come in here for a look around, but already just over there I can see a trolley. And I'm going to get a trolley, and I might just buy some plants, and I might just buy some seeds, and maybe some other bits. Well, you know what else we've got to do, don't you? You know, while you're at a garden centre, you know what you've got to do? You've got to go to the restaurant, you've got to have a little drink, and you've got to have a slice of cake, because it would be rude not to. But already, just coming in here, compared to what this place was like before, it's like night and day, honestly. Look at this. Look, I'm loving the little tractor behind us here. This looks fab, this old antique tractor. And I know Colin, who sort of owns the place, he's really big on things like this. And there's we'll call them Easter eggs. There's little Easter eggs like this all the way through the garden centre. So we'll have a good mooch around. I'll just get set up. I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited because I'm going to be spending some money and getting some stuff, probably for the garden, probably for the allotment. So, I'll try and be careful. But we'll see how it goes. But we'll get set up. I need a trolley. We're going to have to come around, get some bits and pieces, but let's get set up and let's get having a look around. So we're right at the start here, next to the good old tractor again, and I'm fully equipped now with my trolley. So let's head in, and this is what you were greeted with first off, and it is wonderful. There's loads of light comes through the roof with this sort of greenhouse thing that they've done, and I absolutely love this kind of larch wood sort of cladding that's all the way around. It is absolutely fabulous, but I'm already tempted by all the bedding plants that I can see. They are absolutely wonderful. Look at them; they look brilliant. It goes on and on and on. And it used to be, I think, when it was Rook and Glen beforehand, it was a little bit unloved previously. There wasn't much to it. It was a bit meh, we'll say. But now, just look, even all this block paving, all this round here that you can see on there, all this has been laid since it's all been done up. So the garden centre closed, it was around about a month, sort of February, March sort of time, and they were in and they've done all this work, and it is brilliant. And I'm trying trying so hard right now not to just start picking up one of everything and putting it in the trolley. It is blooming brilliant. And there's another one of Colin's Easter eggs just at the back there. You can see the sort of old-fashioned truck there with all the patio tables on it, looking marvellous. And it's great, you know, when you're just sort of wandering around and there's little bits and pieces just like that that you can see that are in the garden centre. It really adds to the place. So we'll have a little bit more of a wander up here and we'll see I'm after some petunias, and that is all 100%ly Eli and Kate's fault. Absolutely their fault, 100%. I saw them doing something with them last year and I got some and they were blooming marvellous. And there is a rather beautiful display of petunias round here, and I guess am I going to go pink? Am I going to go purple? Let's get some purple ones from down the bottom here. So first thing, going in the trolley, a nice big pot of petunias. What else are we going to get? I just happen to know that around this corner, down the bottom here, past all the lovely sort of flowering plants that I'm still really tempted to buy. We're just going to sneak around this corner, down the bottom here, and I think there's a little something that you all already know that I'm rather keen on. So, first item acquired, and let's just head off around the corner and see what else we can find. And by the way, isn't it an absolutely, look at the day. It's a beautiful day. What a day to be muching about the garden centre. And what I'm absolutely not going to do is come over here, is have a look at these. I'm not going to pick up a pack of these dianthus because I don't need them. And I'm not going to go put them in the trolley like that and walk off. But what I am doing is resisting temptation for all of this, and it just keeps on going and going and going. And this is what we're really here for. This is the real deal. Come on, you've seen the channel, you've seen the videos. This is what we're all about. We've got the chilies, we've got peppers, we've got courgettes, we've got cucumbers, we've got all sorts of stuff. And I just happen to know, well, I've seen a post on Facebook actually promoting these, and for the bargain price, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, you can get one of these. And this is the king of tomatoes. You can get little baby sun gold plants, and if you've seen things before, you know I think sun gold is absolutely the best tomato there is, hands down, without a doubt. And it's actually really nice to see here. You can see there is Gardener's Delight, and there's Shirley, there's all the normal ones, but then we've got some different ones that you don't often see in garden centres. We've got honeycomb, we've got cherry falls, we've got, what else we've got? We've got totem, we've got alicante, we've got big boy, we've got more totem along here. There's all sorts of different ones. What's that one as well? Tumbling one, a tumbling tom red, all sorts of different ones. And it's just nice. It's just a little bit refreshing. It might sound daft, but I think it's really nice to see different varieties rather than those really sort of just the bog standard ones that you get floating about at this time of year. But I've got an inkling that round the other side of this sort of shelving unit of plants, there might just be some more things that we want to get our hands on. So, in the spirit of Tony C. Smith's trip to the garden centre, we will head around the corner and we'll see what we can see around this side. And yes, there is more. There's loads. Now, I, admittedly, hands up, when Queen Audrey came for a visit, I did already come here and buy some of these little plug lettuce plants and put them out, and they're doing absolutely smashing. But what I do want is I want a little pack of peas. I want some peas because if you've seen some of my videos recently, you'll have seen that the Blauschrocker peas, I think that's how you pronounce it, I think I'm absolutely murdering it there, have germinated terribly. So we're going to have gaps, we're going to have space. There is no shame in coming to the garden centre, picking up a pack of peas, a pack of beetroot, a pack of cabbage, a pack of sprouts, whatever you happen to want or need, and fill in your spaces. So we'll just have a little bit of a sort of distant view over this bit. We'll not go too far out there but there is some, I'll actually, you know what, I'm going to come back. I can see right down the end of that path there, right down the end of the garden centre, there's some beautiful looking pots, and I need some new pots for my house, for the front garden, for the back garden. I need to pick up some lovely pots, and it just so happens, look at that, we're standing in front of a lovely display of pots, and even all over here, all the different plants, shrubs, everything you could ever want, all under one roof on a beautiful sunny day. But anyway, enough of this. I've got more money to spend. Let's head back inside and have a little bit of a mooch about and see if we can find more things to spend money on in there. So I just thought I'd take a little bit of a pause. So if we finished the outside bit, so we've done all the way around the outside, seen all the bits and pieces there, and we're just about to go through the door just over there and check out the inside bit. But look at these pots behind me. They look absolutely wonderful. I love the colours, bright colours, different patterns, because you get some dull pots, don't you? I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody. You look at the allotment, I've got those really dull black looking tray trough sort of things that just look a bit meh. So every ounce of my self-control is going to have to stop me buying one of these rather jazzy, cool looking pots in there. But I also happen to know it's just I'm preparing myself here to show restraint, that just through that door over there is where the seeds happen to be. Right, and onwards, us and the trolley with a few bits and pieces in it so far. Onwards we go, right through here, right into where we've got the next temptation. Let's just have a look at another one of Colin's Easter eggs just on the way past there, the big red Massey Ferguson tractor. But the next thing we might just happen to be after is some seeds. And I'm terrible. No matter when I come to a garden centre, even if I don't want anything, even if I don't need anything, I always end up buying seeds. Now you can never, ever, ever have too many seeds. And the seeds come all the way along here, all the way along here, all the way along here, and we'll go back here. And they go round the corner as well. We'll not go round the corner just yet. But it's looking fab in here. Honestly, I thought, you know, one of the things about this video was coming in here after it's all been done up. And I think I've said it before a couple of times. I dread to think how much money has been spent in here on all of this. Because beforehand, it was all just a little bit unloved, a little bit not quite nice. But now it looks absolutely magnificent. But onwards. Let's have a look at what seeds we're going to pick up. So we're actually managing to make good use of the aforementioned tractor. So we've got the camera balanced on top of the wheels there, whilst I go a little bit unhinged in and about the seeds. First thing we need, dwarf French beans. And my favourite variety, let me show you these close up, Ferrari, my favourite variety of dwarf French beans to buy. And the next ones that I don't need these. I 100% don't need these. I've already got 3 different lots of courgettes on the go. I've already got 2 mature courgette plants that Mick has sent me, but alas, look at these, variegated skin on the courgette. I cannot resist things with a variegated skin, so anything that looks stripy, anything that looks a little bit different, I've got to buy it. I've got to have it. I need it. It's not a case of wanting it, it's a case of I need it. And there's other things. I don't know what else I want to buy. I want to buy some more. I want 3. Let's get 3 packets of seeds this time. And that is me showing restraint. That is me holding off and not quite going for, oh, this is what we need. This is what we need. And I've mentioned these a million times. I'm really glad to see these. Spring onions, Katana, which again, in my opinion, are the best spring onions you can grow. And that's stuff other girls have come from. And you can't always get them. Some places have them, some places don't have them. I am beyond delighted. Oh, I think I've just seen something else I want to buy. I'm beyond delighted to have the Katana spring onions. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy some chard. And this is a variety called Bright Lights. Brand new to me, never done it. I did chard years ago, haven't done it for ages. But the aforementioned Tony C. Smith was telling me the other day that his son gets the chard, harvests the chard, chops it up, chucks it in a pan, bit of garlic, bit of butter, and apparently it is the bee's knees. So I'm going to do some chard. Anyway, that's enough seeds. I'm going to be skint. I'm going to be broke. By the time I get to the till and we get out of here, I'm going to be skint. But anyway, we've got more garden centre to go and explore, and I still need a cup of tea and a cake. So we'll head just a little bit deeper into the garden centre, and we've got all the tools and bits and pieces around there. And over here, one of these screens, I don't know if the microphone's quite picking up the guy's voice, I don't know if you can sort of see the screen just over here, but I think every garden centre in the entire world has one of those TV screens advertising something with that same guy's voice on it. We've got all our plant foods, Tomerite, stuff like that. We've got some, I love these, look at these, tiny little tools for kids. And I think, well, I say kids, or perhaps if you're the size of Tony O'Neill, that could perhaps be the beautiful, perfect size of tool right for you. But we'll just cut down here, and I'm getting awfully tempted. Look, we're going to come past all the tools. We've got all the stuff. We've got the patio cleaners, all that sort of jazz. Weed killers, we'll keep going past the weed killers. We're not a fan of weed killers. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces we can see that are just tempting me to buy stuff as we come down. But what can we see down here? What does the sign say? Restaurant. Well, I think we all know what's going to happen next, don't we? Now, I think we can all agree that this is probably the best part of any garden centre visit. I've got some tea, freshly made, and I've got a lovely bridal slice. Now, I'm a big fan. Anything, loads of dried fruit, icing on the top. That's absolutely me. Now, if you don't mind, although we're doing a bit of work here, we're having a look around, we're doing some things at the plot, I'm just going to take a little 10 or 15 minute breather, sit here, chill out from the sunshine and enjoy this. Well, unfortunately, there's no tea left anymore, and there's certainly no cake left anymore. So there's only one thing for it. Let's get back out there and do some more shopping. So, tea and cake down the hatch, just what the doctor ordered. And I couldn't help but notice, just on my way in to the restaurant there, I spotted another garden YouTuber on the way in. But this time, I wasn't expecting to see this, mind. This time, it was a book with Danny from the Grow Up channel on it. Who'd have thunk it? All the way up here in Scotland, Danny's book would be out there. Now, before I get myself into any more trouble with other YouTubers or perhaps the local bank manager with everything I'm buying on the way past you, oh no, don't do this. I love this. I know when you come to garden centres, I know I'm all about the plants and the seeds and things like that, but I've got a little bit of a weakness. No, and it's not just coffee and cake, by the way. It's rattan furniture with comfy cushions on it, and it's barbecues. Now, see I might actually come back when I'm not faffing about with this camera and whatnot and have a good look at the barbecues, because I need a new barbecue. We were just chatting about this at work the other day, so I might come back. I'm not spending that much today. The whole thing of clothes in there, so when you look so like ladies' clothes, I think I've not been in this bit. I've never been in this bit. I've been a couple of times into the garden centre, but I've not been this bit. Oh no, look, we've got some clothes for the gents over there, and we've got plenty of women's clothes over here. And I'm tempted. I'm so tempted to sit on that. But keep going, Mark. You've just had coffee and cake. You don't need to be sitting down yet again. And I think through the back here, through this back bit, this is all the gifts. And I did last time I was here, I bought myself a jigsaw. I'm quite partial to a little jigsaw. And let's have a look at the jigsaws and see if you can spot the one. Perhaps if it's there might not have any of the ones that I got left. Let's have a look around the other side and just see if you can spot the one that I bought. Oh, they haven't got it. I'll see if I can get a picture of it. If I can get a picture, I'll put it on the video and you'll be able to see it. But there was an allotment jigsaw, and I absolutely 100% couldn't resist the allotment jigsaw. But I think after I've done the allotment jigsaw, you know, next, the cat jigsaw. And there's the Tobermory jigsaw, and we were just chatting about that on Potty Mouth Garden Club the other day. Tobermory, which is famous for being in the kids' TV show. But all the way down here, we will start to head towards the checkout. And I think it's for the best. And I've almost made it to the checkout, and I've been trapped again. Now, first of all, I thought Caulders, the new people taking over the garden centre, brilliant, wonderful. But all they've done is they've managed to fill it up with all the things I like to buy. And this, I kid you not, honestly, you couldn't make this up. I love stuff from the Highland Soap Company. It is brilliant. And one of the best things they make at the front here is the whiskey and honey range. And they've got different stuff: soap, hand lotion, shower gel, bath foam, all that sort of stuff. It is the most amazing smelling stuff you could ever imagine. Obviously, it's local to me here in Scotland, which, you know, attracts me to it even more. But they've got the whiskey and honey, and I'm going to resist. I'll resist just this once, but believe you me, I will be back. We're going to go backwards for this a little bit because we're heading towards the till, and I thought we'd do something special because since this has been to, you know, all the staff, they're all absolutely lovely. They're all a bit busy. It's all a bit busy over here, so I'm going to go and interrupt. I'm going to go and push my way in, come and reverse and back up here, up to the till. We'll bring our things up, and I'll just cut out here because I don't want anybody to see my PIN number or seeing what's going on. But we'll pay for our bits and pieces and we'll head back off outside. So we're done. We're all paid up and we're free to go. There's only one thing for it now. I'm going to go to the sunshine. You'll have to excuse me with my sunglasses on. Not a problem we have too often here in Scotland, but we'll just head out the exit again. Look out here, the larch cloud. I love this. I think this looks absolutely wonderful on the way out. But I will take my spoils, you know, spoils to the victor. I will take my spoils. I will head off and I'll make a little bit of a plan about where it's all going to go. But before that, we'll just head back round to the allotments here. We're just out the back, just over there. We'll head back to the allotment and we'll just finish off for a little bit. So we're back to the polytunnel just to give my wallet a little bit of a rest. I've got to be honest, I'm at that age now. And on the Thank Potty It's Friday that just went out there on Friday night, Tony and I were chatting and we were saying, like, you get to that age, you get that stage in life, I think, don't you, where it's like, when you're in your 20s, you used to go out, a good day was like, out, you're in the pub, you're out with your mates, yeah, you're getting on. Nowadays, I love nothing more than a nice sunny day, going to the garden centre, having a bit of a mooch around, a wee coffee and a cake, a little treat, get some plants. Speaking of plants, I've got my very own little prized possession of a sungold here, and I think, speaking of the aforementioned Mr. Smith, I spotted his video. He's been putting more plants out in his polytunnel. I think I'm just going to leave these here. So I've got the beetroot from before down there. We've got the sweet peas over there. Today's Thursday. I don't have time tonight to plant them. I'll come back on Saturday or Sunday. We'll get them out then. I think the rest of them can just stay. So the peas, the petunias, the dianthus, they'll all be fine. They'll all be absolutely fine. Little sungold, the little brave trooper sungold, the early adopter, is going to live out here. It's kind of protected. I've sort of got it between the tray of peas and the tray of dianthus there, and its own little bit up on the shelf, away from the slugs. Hopefully it'll be warm enough for it not to die. The worst that'll happen, it'll take a bit of a knock, and its growth, it'll just be stunted a little bit, but it'll pick back up. It'll pick up. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully you've enjoyed that little bit of a sort of mooch around the garden centre. Something a bit different. Something a little bit different. Go on a little field trip. See what there is. Because I talk about it so much, about the garden centre, the site that we're at, where we are. And you know what? Honestly, it's so much better than it used to be. The stuff inside it's better. The plants are better. Everything's better. The staff are lovely. You don't see it. Like when I didn't have the camera on and stuff like that. Even when you come in to the garden centre and you're not like me, you're not faffing on with the camera and stuff. They're so nice. Like, nothing's too much trouble. There's always a hello, a good morning, a good afternoon. If people are, I've seen people like a lot of like older people with their trolleys and their stuff. The staff just come out. They just say, "Oh, I'll help you to your car with that. Let me give you a hand. Let me take that. Let's sort this." Nothing is too much trouble, and it is lovely. It is wonderful to see. I'm chuffed to bits. I've spent some money. I've had a lovely afternoon. I've had coffee. I've had cake. What could possibly be better? Anyway, that's me done for today. Thank you for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.